Hey, what's up everyone? It is I'm the one and only Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the likes of the Maxi Toys videos. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for some more of Let's Play of Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins for the Game Boy. So last time we have basically just managed to accomplish the Mario Zone, and also we did manage to pretty much done with, well, the Total Zone, and also we did manage to gather ourselves, well, we collected, I should say, the final 2 golden coins, and then once we're done with that, we opened up the entrance to the final level in the game. And speaking of such though, today for this episode, this will be the finale of Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, and because of that though, we're going to be hit on to the final level in the game, which appears to be Mario's Castle. Or to be more accurate, Wario's Castle in particular, which is, by far, is one of the hardest final levels in any 2D Mario games. Like, I swear, this is one of the hardest levels of the game. Because it has, like, multiple things. For one, obviously there's going to be a lot of, like, impossible traps to avoid. Specifically with all these little swinging ball of chain or something like that. And also those little spewing out piranha fireballs, as you can see. And also, not to mention, it's the fact that, well, as you can see, that it does give me a lot of time here. Like 800 or 900 seconds when the actual level starts. But either way though. And also there's going to be a lot of emphasis on trial and error sometimes, and especially noticeable whenever we get onto the harder platforming involved. Well, we're going to have to deal with that stuff though, because, well, if you don't be very careful enough, then you're probably going to die a lot. Even especially noticeable that you get lives drained very, very quickly. And another thing for this point too, is that there isn't any checkpoints whatsoever. So you have to do it within the first try, because otherwise, if you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the level. So, yeah, this is one of the hardest levels in the game, and possibly is one of the hardest old-school 2D Mario levels, even for a final level of anything else. And as you can see, I did manage to hover over that particular floors, as you can see there, because if you somehow manage to run up, basically it'll activate a trap, which meaning it's like a Wario's gloved fist. And because of that though, you definitely need to avoid those, because otherwise you will lose a power-up, so... But either way, it's a good thing we actually got ourselves the Bunny Mario to begin with, because Bunny Mario is useful in this world. Or even in the final level in the game, actually, because you can basically just manage to make some of these segments really easy. Such as, for instance, in this part right over here, that the section I'm in right now, basically if you time your jumps carefully, that way you can to actually avoid not only the lava pit, but also those spikes from the ceiling, and, well, that's pretty much all I can say about this for the most part, so... But yeah, for the most part, it's not too bad for my run, but as you can tell, I have to constantly gonna be using save states, because otherwise, if I do somehow manage to make several mistakes, then otherwise that I have to obviously try to do that, so... But either way though, once you're done with these harder obstacles, then if you think this level's done, well, it turns out we still got a whole lot of enemies to deal with right here, such as with these very, very weird looking faces with their flashing balls, which all you have to do is just basically you have to jump on them twice, and then eventually every once in a while though is the fact that they obviously now spawn in 2 of them, so basically you have to able to deal with them from here, and onto another room which is basically the same thing, except, well, the actual movements is slightly altered slightly, so as you can see I accidentally got hit right there, but that's fine, because this part is not too bad and not too shabby for the most part. But once you're done with all 5 of these little weird looking enemies, and basically it gives us a freebie power-up if you manage to get hit, so that's obviously quite nice. And if we go onto the pipe, we come across Wario, the big man himself, or big baddie man himself. So basically in this entire boss fight it's pretty simple, you have to simply jump on him 3 times, even though every once in a while though he will start to actually do a massive ground pound, which you do need to jump by the way, so just in case you don't get stunned. And when you stomp on him like 3 times on its head, then basically it all moves on to the next phase. I think there are about 3 phases in total. Like, the first phase is pretty much just normal Wario, and then on the second phase, all he got right now is that he now becomes Bunny Wario, which might actually be a little bit trickier if you're not careful, especially noticeable you have to dodge those particular chandeliers from above, or from above even, while Wario did manage to able to ground pound. But just like in the first phase, all you have to do is basically just jump on him 3 times, and assuming if you're able to get yourselves your Bunny Mario with you, it should make the entire fight really easy. But if you think you've done yet, well, there's a mushroom that you can able to pick up, but honestly it's not worth it for my part. So here we go folks, the third and the final phase, which is Final Fire Wario, which is the most deadliest one of them all. And just like always, hit him 3 times, and that's it! Even though I made the fight a little bit easier and simple, but even if you have yourselves Bunny Mario with you, then that makes the entire fight really easy. So there goes Wario, got him to himself in a small size. And once you deal with Wario, we can simply transform Wario's castle back to Mario's castle. Which, hopefully, everything else should be a little bit more, well, nice and peaceful for the most part. Especially noticeable, likely or so, that we actually did manage to breezily win for this entire level. Despite how long it is, that, we actually did done as no problem, so... And there we go, we actually transforms a W to the M, stands for Mario. And that's pretty much about it in terms of how the ending itself actually plays out. Thank you, Mario. Your quest is over. Yeah, thanks, game, for able to actually congratulate me for something. So, yeah, let's give my final thoughts of Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I think to me, though, this is mildly step up than the forms of how it does in the original Super Mario Land for me, though, at least. Although, for one thing, is the fact that the story itself might be a bit different compared to the forms of how it does in the previous Mario games for sure, because obviously rather than rescuing those damsel in distress princesses, well, to be more specifically commonly of them all is of course Princess Peach, and despite although we did manage to rescue Daisy after the events of the original Super Mario Land, but every now and then is the fact that in the second game on the Super Mario Land series, basically Wario is a threat in this game, and basically we have to claim our castle back, because, well, we'll point things out whenever we get on to the next set of Let's Plays we're like to able to do at some point for the rest of the year, as well as some of them from 2022 at some point, but, again, we'll discuss it now in a moment, because either way, also I really love the actual world, themes they're going for this point. They're all very unique in almost every single way. Mainly with the forms of the Space Zone, and even especially noticeable with Macro Zone, that everything else is all, well, we're all tiny and everything, while dealing with the large ants that we have to avoid, and also the Spooky Pumpkin theme zone, which is actually super unique and interesting, and finally, the Mario Zone is actually pretty cool looking. And the music is top-notch as well, even though most people don't usually talk about this game as much. But either way though, overall I should definitely recommend getting this game. Even though the actual controls might be a bit floaty at times, especially because this is on the Game Boy of everything else. But when you get used to it, it's actually not too shabby for the most part. But either way though, I suppose that's pretty much about it. Oh yeah, the graphics themselves look very cool looking too. Despite this is on Game Boy, meaning it's going to be in black and white, but if you do manage to play this on the Game Boy Player, or even a Super Game Boy, or anything else like that, then everything else brings in color mode, which, that's to be expected by that point. So even then though, the only gripe I have with the game though, is that this game is really short. Obviously because this is on the Game Boy, so don't expect things too much about this for this activity. But apart from those side of things though, I think you should definitely recommend it. It's actually a pretty cool game, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you can either get this originally for the Game Boy original cartridge for it. Well, good luck trying to find that, by the way, because there are a lot of fake cartridges out there. Or you can now get this on the 3DS Virtual Console re-release if it's your only option, if you don't have the Game Boy or something. So yeah, that's pretty much about it in terms of Super Mario Land 2. So this is me, Piglet, from the likes of the Maxi Toys. I feel incredibly bad for Wario, honestly. In fact, no matter what though, maybe we should start doing a new set of Let's Play marathons for a change, because we haven't done those for a while. Because up next, in terms of the Let's Play marathons, next up it will be the Wario Land series, starting with Super Mario Land 3, Wario Land. So I'll see you guys soon. Later, fellas.